schmurder all the time, are you more likely to schmurder? You know, if you watch, lesbian porn,
Abbs, I'll tell you, there's not.
And that's all you watch.
It's not a comparison.
Are you more likely to be a lesbian?
Abbs, I'll tell you, it's not a comparison because there's been studies done about people that are P3DOs, and they have a psychological deficiency to comprehend things like that. So it's not the same as watching schmurder shows.
Okay, well, so like when the MAPS situation came out, like, and they minor persons or whatever, right? What I've read so far is just like that. What I'm saying has been used as an argument, and there's no real evidence to prove that it is or isn't decreasing or increasing harm.
So, can I add this real quick? Sorry, I had to come up because the only thing that I can compare is when a specific person does go ahead and like highly idolizes it, and a serial unaliver, right? To where they are essentially getting off from it. Yeah, that person can probably become a unaliver.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the direction I was going to go. So say I really had an interest in and a desire to harm somebody. I've never done it, but if I have the desire and just the thought is really appealing to me to just go out and unalive somebody, for me to watch serial unaliver movies, all that's going to do is put it in my head more and more and more and want me to do it, make me want to do it more and more and more. If I am addicted to
the stuff that you watch on Corn, because everyone watches Corn, right? The stuff that you watch on Corn doesn't necessarily mean that you would actually do that in real life. You're satisfying your mental fantasies at that point, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to go out and do it in real life. You know what I mean?
There are a lot of people that are misinformed on Corn and go out and try to do Corn acts with their partner or other people just because they see it in Corn.
Mm-hmm. So if you were around, say you had a family member that was addicted to illegal substances, we'll say. What?
You said I'm that family member.
Okay, so you have an addiction. So if you, I don't want to know what your, drug of choice is, but
when you needles, what do you think?
Just be cautious of what we say around that because the TikTok app.
If pokies is your addiction, if you were trying to not be near a pokey or try to not use a pokey, do you think sitting there and watching other people,
do you think hanging out with
themselves,
who's a registered nurse is a problem?
What's that?
You think hanging out with my mother who's a registered nurse is a problem?
No, that's not at all what I'm saying. I'm saying if you have an addiction to injecting things in your arms, I'm trying to say this the best TikTok way I can.
Opiates, yes.
Okay, so if you were to sit and watch people get elevated by poking things in their arm, similar to what you do or have done, don't you think that would make you want to go do it more as opposed to the opposite?
No, that would make me know that I have to work on my recovery a lot more if it's triggering me, or not hang out with those people, because it's triggering me.
No, but if you can watch it on AI, you can watch.
I can watch people use and not want to use. Just like I think that anything else is the same way, right? I don't think that necessarily going and working at a hospital knowing that, there's patients that are on opiates for pain. I don't think if I worked at a hospital, I would be more of a drug addict or less of a drug addict.
But you would not put yourself around opiates.
Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't really, honestly, but I don't know. I don't think how you're saying it really is the same as what we're talking about.
So, Abs, here's my thing that kind of goes into it. I think that necessarily when we go ahead and we're talking about, corn, it is going ahead and trying to set up like the highest amount of dopamines, essentially like your most craving, if you would, right?
I'm talking to Abid and he's refusing to come.
Tell him there's only 26 people in here. It's safe.
He tried telling me, how about you come to my live?
Oh, he's here.
What up, bro?
What up, Abid?
I want to know your stance because I'm like kind of.
My stance is based off objective morality. That is wrong. But people who just use subjective morality will justify it based off the no harm principle. So that was my entire argument there. So I said when you have subjective morality, that's exactly what my argument is. I clearly said if you watch the whole live, you can download it. Emily has. I clearly said objectively, it's wrong. So and I follow objective morality because objective morality comes from God. So that's been my argument the whole time.
Objective morality coming from God?
Correct.
No.
Because so when you have subjective
There is
morality,
no God.
because you'll say, well, if something doesn't cause harm,
There is
it's
no
okay.
God.
But then, well, sorry, that's you. You need God. Then you wouldn't be such a delusional person.
No, God.
Delusional.
Yeah, but describe what
Someone's
the non-binary
echoing.
is. Can you prove the non-binary?
It's a bit. A bit
objectively?
has a bad echo.
Abid, you're echoing.
No,
Go to your home
Abs
screen,
had
come
the
back.
echo too.
Yeah, so basically right now you have this issue with subjective morality. And when you have subjective morality, that's why the LGBT community is normalizing the term minor attracted persons.
No,
We're
That's
not.
why they are.
That was
Correct.
made by a psychological institution. It wasn't.
I can
our
pull
community.
up LGBT advocates and therapists.
Mute fucking
Have you seen?
All right, Abid, try.
Okay,
going-
you're not gonna mute me, bro.
No, Abid, you have a freaking echo.
Your name's Echo.
There's
No.
an
I have an echo for an echo.
You have an audio echo. Go to your home screen and come back.
Okay.
That's why I'm muting you. I'm trying to fix it.
What's good? What's good, bro? Still there?
All right, I think we might be good.
No.
Okay.
it's picking
So,
up
anyways,
somewhere.
I gave you my I said objectively, it's wrong. But when people have
A
subjective
bit.
morality,
No, I want to comment on something that you had said.
okay.
The LGBT community
exit out and come back.
rejected maps, and the only reason why I refer to maps as maps is because of TikTok terms of service. They are
Yeah,
a
but it's your echoing.
sick individual, and I believe, honestly, the most extreme ostracizing, extreme things for people that are P3DOs.
Yeah, and what do you think puberty blockers is? Do you think little kids can consent to hormones that could potentially cause impotence for their entire life? Have you heard that? Have you read the WPATH files?
Puberty blockers.
Have you read the WPATH files though?
The
you
WPATH
serious?
files are not good at all.
Yeah, and they're clear medical professionals. They were
No,
warning
they're
about
not.
giving
No,
You should
puberty
restart
blockers
this.
at 10 or 2.
This is all fucked up.
No,
Yeah.
exactly. It's down by the same thing because kids can't consent. And you guys are justifying doing things to kids that they can't
Abid,
consent.
your audio's
That's
making
my
it
issue
can I
with
really
just
the
say-
horrible.
community.
We need to
You don't
only
care about
one
the kids.
person talk at a time. Hang on a bit. Only one person needs to talk at a time because with the echo, you can't hear. It's horrible to hear. So wait until one person is done talking before you start, because otherwise it's impossible to hear. Sorry.
May
Yeah.
I please interject for one moment?
Abid, I'm just muting you because it's echoing when other people talk. That's all. If you want, try to leave the app, come back. If you have a headset on, unplug it. Try to mess around with it because it's echoing from you. Go ahead, Paul's.
Is Abid Christian? By the
No.
way? No.
No, Abid is Muslim.
Okay. I'm not too educated on the Muslim faith. Could they tell us their morality of the Muslim faith? Because then I could get context on the AI thing. Because it just seems like that would go.
My argument
against,
is
it would
that
go against
in Islamic
their faith.
morality, it's harmful to harm children or do anything with children. But the thing is, you have no standard by which to grade your morality. So my argument is, since most of the rainbow community negates God, they say, oh, as long as it doesn't cause harm. That's why you can justify puberty blockers. That's
Yeah,
why
didn't
people
Muhammad
normalize it.
marry a 14-year-old?
Listen, there's context in this. In that society, she was deemed an adult, and she herself says she was an adult. Because there's an objective standard by which to grade if someone's ready for marriage. They have to be mentally and physically mature. That's the standard in Islam. So in that society, we don't just use age as a certain thing, because a 16-year-old, an 18-year-old, if they're not mentally and physically, they both wouldn't be deemed marriageable for Islam. So Islamic standards are actually a lot better than the
So
standards
according
by
to
which...
your Islamic faith, if someone is mentally and physically matured, then it's no problem for them to wed, right?
Based off objective standards, but I also understand that this is a new society.
You're using
so we go by-
objective standards based on your God exists, and that's your objective standards, which is
Correct,
a
yeah.
subjective standard. Okay.
It's not objective standards because
No,
my
that's a
standards are
subjective
based off
standard.
the
While
Quran. And
you're
the
not
Quran
talking.
says you have to follow, and you cannot wed orphans until they reach marriageable age. So that's
What is
a verse in the
marriageable
Quran.
age?
Yeah, but you're
Marriageable age is
weaponizing your
when-
religion, bro. Like that's just not right.
Nah, bro, my standards are a lot better. If people followed Islamic standards, they'd be a lot better off.
No,
What
you
is
think
the
that all Islam
marriageable
people don't, so
age?
you
Oh,
have to
no.
fucking base your fucking shit on reality, man.
Yeah.
I just looked it up.
Yeah. What is marriageable age?
There is
When
no
you're both
marriageable
physically and
age
mentally
in the
mature,
Islamic
there's
faith.
not a specific age.
It's based on puberty.
Right.
So once they're done with puberty, then they're ready for
Yeah,
marriage.
provided they're both mentally and physically mature. So that's the age by.
You see that.
And I'm saying that's a lot better standard than.
So if someone went through puberty and was more physically towards an adult standard, mentally and physically at like 14, would it be acceptable for them to be married?
Provided they were both physically and mentally, they'd have to meet all the criteria.
You have to take your religion and apply it to fucking society, modern society. You don't
Yeah,
take
and-
it as literally as you're taking it.
Hold
Yeah,
on,
and then
Abbs,
that's
I
why I
want to
said
let
there's
him
a soci-
answer this. So
That's
14
why-
years old, if they're physically and mentally capable, should they wed?
You have to follow the law of the land too. So I think in today's society, it's not normal. So I would take an aspect of both the objective and the societal standard because I live in today's society.
Okay,
Yeah, but
so
your
in
mindset should also be as the laws.
hold on. In Alabama, it is legal at 16 to wed. Should that kid then be able to wed in Alabama?
But like I said, provided you follow the objective standard and the subjective standard. So
So is that a
Based
yes
off
or
that.
no?
it's based off the law. You follow the law of the land.
Yeah,
That's
so
my answer. I'm not-
legally 16. And legally in some states you can get married at like 12 years old.
Yeah, the age of consent is 15 in New Zealand. It's 18. It's 16 in Canada. It's 18 somewhere else. So I mean, there's no set
Okay, so
standard
you're in
anywhere.
Canada, the age of consent is legally 16, and then based on your religion, if a child is capable physically and mentally of wedding, should they get married at 16 in Canada?
Provided they follow all the laws and restrictions and they follow the objective standard, that's the law. That's my answer. I personally wouldn't do it because I prefer older people. But some people, there's an objective standard within the religion, that's all I'll speak about. I'm not here to be
So you would
100%
support
an
it at
expert on it.
16 in Canada.
I'm saying you have to follow the objective standard. My
Yeah, if they
standard.
met these guidelines, you would support it at 16 in Canada.
They have to follow the objective standards. That's my stance. And they also have to follow the law of the land. That's my
So
stance.
that is a yes, you would support it.
There we go.
So as long as it's okay with the law, you support it?
I'm saying they also have to meet the objective standard as in being physically and mentally mature.
And see, that's where your whole entire stance on that is actually not objective. It's purely subjective.
It's not subjective because there's an objective standard
What is the objective standard?
that they need to be both physically and mentally mature. As in they have to hit puberty, have pubic hair, be mentally ready.
So
And-
literally,
they cannot be coerced.
The only determining fact, because essentially that's what you're saying. Because what someone's mental status is going to be completely subjective, because that person does not know their full maturity until they are older. They could think in a younger state that they are, but they're probably not.
Well, if you're going to make that argument, then your brain isn't fully developed till you're 25, so make marriage only until 25. Why aren't you
No,
asking
that's
for
based
that?
on your standard.
Oh, that's your standard. I'm saying you believe the brain isn't fully developed till you're 25, which is what science says. So why don't you advocate for everyone
Hi,
to
Aaron.
only be married after 25?
I advocate for
Why not?
adults. Necessarily.
What makes
Hold
it
on,
20?
hold on a bit.
What makes
Keep
it define
stopping
what an
us.
adult is?
You can't go ahead and let a woman finish. I mean, it's clear, but come on now.
Okay, what makes
I am
I'm asking
and
you.
asking you questions off of your point of view. I'm clarifying and working off of your worldview. And I think that your worldview is very sick. I think that you need to realize the flaws within what you are speaking of, and that you are justifying kids that have just hit puberty to lay with 40, 50-year-old men.
Disgusting.
Yeah, like that's utterly disgusting. I want to better understand like this objective morality that you speak on, because you were saying that it's based on your religion and God. You know your God is not the only God. And not everybody follows a religion. Did we lose a bit?
Abid, you're off app, and when you're off app, we can't hear you if you're talking.
So I just wanted to come in really quick because I heard him trying to use God as justification for this. And let me tell you something. I believe in Jesus Christ, but I will unalive a P3DO quick. Because the Bible talks about not hurting God's children and innocent ones. And those babies are innocent. So whoever's twisting the word of God to make it seem like P3DOs are okay, no.
So Brittany, he is Muslim, so Allah and
Allah is still God.
Muslim
It's just
and
different.
the Christian religion are two separate, like, belief systems, but they believe in the same Allah, I guess.
Oh, my apologies. I didn't hear the part where he was Muslim. I just heard the part where he said God, and I'm like, hold your tacos, bud. Like,
Yeah, which to me is weird because Mohammed wedded a 14-year-old, which is acceptable with the bid because they were of mental and physical capability to consent, apparently. Which consent
so
is a whole nother
basically
thing, a bid.
So he believes if you're old enough to bleed, you're old enough to breed.
Once you're done, according to the Islamic faith, I just looked it up. The age of marriage doesn't have an age for marriage.
Nope.
Once you're done with puberty and you have the mental capacity to have cognitive thing, I think, then you are okay to have marriage in the Islamic faith.
But even in the Islamic faith, they should have enough common sense to know no child. I mean, maybe 17-year-olds could consent, but at the same time, again, an adult is 18 years old. You should not be, if you are in your, let's see, I'm going to say if you're 24, 25 above, you need to only be talking to 18-year-olds. And the reason why I say 25 is I have friends who met a guy that's 24 when they were 17. It was like 2 months before their 18th birthday. But, no. Other than that, absolutely.
So, Brittany, the whole thing that started this conversation is that a believes that it's okay to use child porn with AI because it prevents it from happening in person.
Okay, so let me ask you something. If someone illustrates a grown adult in a cartoon messing around with a child, is that okay?
According to him.
He's off app. I don't know if he left it or what. If he's trying to run.
Are we talking about AI as in virtual reality?
Mm-hmm.
Artificial and artificial.
Right. AI generated images.
Virtual reality.
People,
Hello? Yeah,
Yep.
my wife called, so I had to kind of talk to her.
Okay, I'm gonna be real. I have to say this real quick, and then I'm getting off. Abid, we definitely need the red flag guy coming across your profile because, bro, you strike me as a predator.
I think the LGBT community is full of predators, and the religious people are defending against it because we are standing up.
No, you're clearly the predator.
No, the
Hold on,
LGBT
you
community
missed
is
the
full of.
part where I literally said, hold on. I go to church, okay? I am apostolic Pentecostal. And no. Mm-mm.
Yeah, why does the
right.
church need SA insurance? First of all, if you want to attack Islam, there's way more predators in Christianity. So check yourself
Wait,
there, Christians.
hold on, Abid. Who's attacking Islam's?
You are attacking Islam. This whole life.
Nobody did.
Really?
nobody did.
My moral-
Nobody's
Really? Would
doing
you
that.
like me to bring my friend
You want to bring up
in here who
Christians?
is Muslim?
Let's talk about the Catholic Church. Let's talk about every church in America needs SA insurance. Your religion is problematic. And
let's
you
talk
need to
about
return.
how
You need
fucking,
to start worshiping the true faith, which is Islam.
Catholics.
Yeah,
priests
Christians in
raping
general.
children.
Every church in
So-
America has SA insurance for a reason. If you want me to
What
go
are you?
there, I can go there.
No. What are you talking about?
It's true. Look it up. Basically every church in America.
Yeah,
has
unfortunately,
SA.
a bit has an echo, and
Catholics.
he can't fix it.
Sorry.
It's not just Catholics. It's Pentecostals.
It is
It's
just
Protestants.
Catholics.
It's
That's
every
why the
single
running
evangelical.
joke is.
Listen, we're not going to
priests-
play whose religion does more. They are all equally bad. The problem is a bit like you're talking about age of consent and age of marriage based on your religious values and your belief, defending that a 16-year-old could get married, even younger.
Well, I'm saying what makes someone marriageable age. It's what is our society based on? It's because they matriculate to a grade 1 through 12 education system. Mary
When
was
they're
allegedly
18
12 when
years
she gave birth. So I mean, historically, there's been different ages of marriage. My grandmother got married at age 13, and that was normal in that society.
So
That's just-
Abid,
Thank
Yeah.
you.
we've already
God.
said let's just leave religion out of this.
This is my values are based off religion. So
Yeah, and I
can't
don't
separate
need to
myself
go
from
ahead
religion.
and pull down values off of a religion because I am agnostic. I'm an atheist, right? And I still know
Y'all know I
that
can't spell.
even bringing in the argument of an AI kitty porn is very disgusting.
I'm not saying
behavior.
I don't
Hold on,
defend that.
shh,
I'm
don't
saying based
interrupt
off
me. I know you
subjective
can't
morality.
let
My
women
argument.
finish.
Did
I
you
know
listen
you
to my
can't let
argument?
women finish a bit.
Listen to. I don't want to let you
I know
finish.
you can't learn how to.
Can you prove that you're even a
Because
woman? Are you an
you've
adult?
only had it with- you've
Are
only
you
had
even
it
a
You're
with
woman?
me
deflecting
one
a
time.
bid.
Like,
Are you even a woman?
Have the conversation at hand a bit. We're talking about your justification of underage marriage and AI kitty porn.
defend it. Are you that obtuse?
Abid,
I made the
hold
clear
on, no,
argument
no,
that
don't
it's, like,
interrupt me, honey.
objectively wrong.
Honey, don't interrupt me.
You're genuinely
A bit,
an idiot.
no. So a bit. This is like the cold hard truth. I am an atheist, but I probably have more morals than you because the fact
No, you
that
don't.
Can you shut up?
No, you don't. You're making
Shut
lies,
up.
and I clearly said
Shut
AI
up,
child
Abid.
porn
Shut
is
up.
wrong.
You can't let women finish.
AI
You already
child
told
porn
me.
is wrong.
You already
AI
told
child
me
porn
you don't
is
even know
wrong.
how to
AI
please
child
your
porn
wife
is wrong.
because you've only
How many
slept
times do I
with
have
her
to say
once.
Can we have a back and
Hey, Abid,
forth
how
a bit?
about you shut up and let her talk?
I don't want to let her talk because she's an idiot.
Can the host literally not
Moron.
mute a bit?
Genuinely
Like-
morons. I'm not.
I'm trying not to mute him because he
I'm not
will
gonna
run.
mute
He'll leave.
Then come to my
But
live.
he's incapable
Come to
of
my
having a
live and
back
have the
and forth.
discussion, bro.
Come on.
Abid,
Come to my
if
life.
you leave, we are fully standing by that you support underage marriage and AI kitty corn. This is your chance to talk about it. I'm not coming to your live to have a conversation with you about it. We're doing it here now, with or without you.
Yeah, and I don't go to Predators
He ran.
Yeah, exactly.
He ran.
Let him leave. Exactly.